Hey guys, we do have another code. This code is applicable for both Darkwinter and for HAOPLAY. So let's check out what we're going to be getting. The code is ALLFOOLDAY. Let's click apply and we have redeemed our code. Also, we will be checking out in our inbox what it is. That is it, guys, and enjoy. Peritya is most notable for single target damage potential on her action support passive, which boasts an impressive damage multiplier totaling 300%. Peritya's action support is triggered when AoE damage is dealt to enemies in range, in which Klukai plays a crucial role in synergy with her. We will start off with her skills, Chain Reaction level 1. So passive support. When an enemy unit within range takes AoE damage from an allied unit, performs one instance of attack support, dealing AoE physical damage equal to 50% of attack and 1 point of stability damage, as well as gaining 1 point of Confectance Index. So this effect can trigger up to 6 times per turn before the attack. Every 1 point of leftover mobility enhances the damage dealt by the attack by 10% up to a maximum increase of 30%. So this is where her synergy with Klukai comes in terms of the action support. And once Mekti comes in, that action support is going to be turning into corrosion damage. Next is going to be her ultimate, Multi-Compilation level 1. This is an AoE, stability damage is going to be 2, dealing AoE corrosion damage equal to 100% of attack to all enemy targets within a 9x9 area centered on self, excluding the inner 5x5 area for each target hit, increases damage dealt by 5% up to 15%. So as you level up this skill, the square will be able to fill up near the middle so that you could take out more enemies within range. Our third skill, Domain Suppression level 1, is an active AoE displacement. Stability damage is going to be 3. Select a tile within 8 tiles as the center, dealing AoE physical damage equal to 90% of attack to all enemy targets within 1 tile of the center, and pull them 1 tile toward it. For each target hit, reduces the skill's cooldown by 1 turn. Our next skill is going to be Fixed Erosion level 2 because I do have her at the 1. So it's an active AoE and it's a cleanse. Stability damage is going to be 5. Selects 1 enemy target within 8 tiles, dealing AoE corrosion damage equal to 85% of attack to them and all enemies within a 3x3 area, and cleanses 3 buffs, which is going to be very useful, especially if you go up against a boss that has a buff that has to be removed. Increases stability damage to the main target by 4 points. The last one is your basic attack, Rapid Overwrite level 1, targeted. Stability damage is going to be 2. Selects 1 enemy target within 8 tiles and deals physical damage equal to 80% of attack to them. As for your weapon options, your first option is going to be Pecheneg SP. This is a free-to-play option and also an SR option. So if an attack hits 4 targets, the next instance of damage dealt with skill is increased by 10%. Your second free-to-play option is definitely going to be her signature weapon. It's going to be Optical Illusion. So Resonator level 1, each time an attack successfully hits 3 targets, the damage of the next attack skill is increased by 10%, with an additional increase of 10% damage for AoE skills. After dealing damage, there is a 20% chance to apply 1 debuff to the target. Also take note that the trait for this one is if AoE damage is dealt, apply 1 debuff for 1 turn. If the target has 3 or more debuffs, this ignores 15% of their covered damage. Plus, if you notice here, the gun has a plus 25% crit rate, which is easier for you to bring up her crit rate if you choose to do so. For your third option, we do have Mjolnir, but this is a paid option only available in the paid battle pass. So precision shooting, if no movement has been made, increased damage dealt by 15%, and at the end of the action restores 10% of max HP and 1 point of stability index. If AoE damage is dealt, apply 1 debuff for 1 turn. So this gun is going to give her much more restoration for HP and also for stability index. For her attachments and stat priorities, I would go with a corrosion boost set If you don't have it, then you could go with a Phase Strike set. Then for the stats, you should go with attack boost, flat attack, crit rate, and crit damage. I'd like to show you guys one more thing because the build that I have might be of interest to you. If you can remember, the gun has a 25% crit rate, so I was able to expand that 25% up to 95%. So the breakdown is as follows. 20% for your basic doll. Your universal key is going to be 9%. This can be improved as well. The weapon has 25% and the weapon attachment can be improved as well, but now has 41.10%. Again, there's a possibility that I could have this at 100% in the future, which helps her deal more damage, and especially if you could bump up the crit damage for your Peritya. For her fortifications, we'll start off with the first priority at segment 3. So segment 3 is a multi-compilation. For every enemy target hit, increase additional damage dealt by 5% up to 25% increase. The next one is going to be at segment 5. It's called Chain Reaction. So this belongs to her passive. If no movement is made before performing an active attack, gains 2 points of Confectance Index after attacking. The last one, which is also under Chain Reaction, which is her passive, action support can be triggered an additional 4 times per turn. So in total, it would be at 10. For her Neural Helix, we'll start off with her common key, all points to damage. Crit rate is going to be at a plus 5%. If an active skill hits 2 or more enemy targets, damage dealt is increased by 7%. This, however, was equipped with Klukai, so I'll be forced to replace this with her. For her fixed key, the first one is going to be Friendly Contact. Increased stability damage dealt to the primary target by the active skill Fixed Erosion by 4 points. The next one is going to be Temporary System Maintenance, gains 1 point of Confectance Index for every 10 points of stability damage dealt. Next one, or the last one, is going to be a Brief Respite, gains 3 points of Confectance Index at the start of the battle. For her common keys or universal keys, I am prioritizing Crit Rate and Attack Boost, all 3 of them. If you do have an option for a higher crit rate, that would be better since we are trying to get her crit rate up to 100%, which would help her deal more crit damage in the end. As for her team options, there are 2 that I could think of. First is going to be Klukai's attacks are AoE, so it helps with Peritya's action support. But to make things even better, Klukai can trigger all 6 of them in every turn, and up to 3 against a single enemy. In return, Peritya can trigger Klukai's passive and help her reduce her cooldowns much faster than other characters. The other one is going to be Mekti, converts Peritya's action support attacks to corrosion and provides additional buffs and debuffs that amplify corrosion damage taken by enemies. So those are the 2 that can help her bring her damage potential out. So with that said, guys, those are my thoughts, my build on Peritya. So I hope that you can also take her to a higher crit rate, the same as my build. And hopefully I could build a corrosion team in time when Mekti arrives. So thank you very much for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.